Barakallahu fiki. Okay, so the first ayahs of Surah Yusuf also tell you that Quran is in Arabic, and Quran can only be in Arabic. When we read the translation of the Quran, that is not the Quran, right? It is the meaning of the Quran. It is not the Quran itself. So that is another thing. And then in these ayahs, you can see that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that we relate to you, O Muhammad. So Allah Ta'ala is telling the story to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We relate to you, O Muhammad, the best stories that we have revealed to you of this Quran. So this is the best story of the Quran, Allah Ta'ala says. And in the end, we're going to analyze why this is the best story out of so many wonderful stories. The story of Nuh alayhi salam, the story of Musa alayhi salam, so many stories of Musa alayhi salam. And Ibrahim alayhi salam, and so many stories of the Quran. Allah Ta'ala says this is the best story. Do you have any idea why this is the best story? Okay, think about it. Okay, while I'm telling you the story, think about it. So, as Hannah recited these ayahs, in these ayahs, the beginning of ayah, I think ayah number 4, from ayah number 4, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us how Yusuf alayhi salam came to his father, and his father's name is Yaqub alayhi salam. He came to his father, Yaqub alayhi salam, and he narrated his dream. And he said, um, he sees a wonderful dream. He sees the sun and the moon and 11 stars doing sajda to him. And he comes and tells his father, Yaqub alayhi salam. His father immediately recognizes that this is it. It is, this is it has prophetic meaning. This dream is something special. This is not an ordinary dream, because his father is also a prophet. Okay, and he's able to see that this my son is someone special, and this dream is special. And Yaqub alayhi salam says something really profound. He says, don't tell your brothers about this dream. He does not say your brothers will get jealous. He says your brothers are going to plot against you and they might try to kill you. So this is something really, strange for a father to say. And we'll see you why he said this. Um, okay. So let's go through this passage. First of all, he goes to his father and shares a dream. So from this, what do we get? He's able to go to his father, even with a small dream that he had. So he's close to his father. It shows you that he's close to his father, and his father is giving him full attention. He's not like just dismissing him or saying, "Oh, what a cute dream! Just run off now." He's listening to him. He gave him his full attention, and he really tried to understand what this dream means. And he's taking him seriously. Then he tells him, "Oh, my father, I have seen in my dream 11 stars, the sun and the moon, and I saw them prostrating to me." So he understood that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has chosen my son, and he's going to be a prophet. And he tells he tells his son that Allah ta'ala is going to give you interpretation of dreams. So, one of the miracles that Yusuf alayhi salam had was that he was able to tell the meaning of dreams. Prophets did have this ability, most of the prophets, because they used to receive wahi, they used to receive revelation sometimes. Sometimes they used to receive wahi in dreams. Okay, what were some of the other ways of receiving wahi? Mhm. Yeah, buzzing of bees and ringing of bells. But buzzing of bees would be people outside would hear this, and ringing of bells would be something that they could hear inside. Okay, so like Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam would hear the ringing of bells, and people outside could hear buzzing of bees. So it was the same thing. But this was the angel revealing something to him, but he's just hearing the voice of the angel. The ringing of bells was actually the voice of the angel. Okay, and the angel sometimes would come to him in the form of man. Sometimes Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam also saw Jibreel alayhi salam in his true form also. But when he did see Jibreel alayhi salam in his true form, no Quran was revealed to him. But it is also a form of revelation. Sometimes Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to receive revelation in dreams, and other prophets have also received revelation in dreams. Do you know any other prophet who's received dreams? Do we know a dream of Sulaiman alayhi salam? I can't remember one. No? Mm, Prophet Ibrahim for sure. Uh, Musa alayhi salam, which one? Ah, Ibrahim alayhi salam. And then we know of Yusuf alayhi salam's dreams. But other prophets also used to receive dreams From Allah, yeah. Yeah. But then he used to get angels as well. Angels used to visit him as well, and I'm sure he had dreams also. This was actually getting dreams for prophets was the first sign of prophethood. They would get dreams that were, really special, just like the dream that Yusuf alayhi salam had. Acha, interpretation or dreams, is it a real thing? Hmm. Hmm. He knew that this is going to be something that will be given to him. He said the ayah says that Allah Ta'ala has chosen you. So don't reveal your dream to your brothers or they're going to harm you. Hmm? Yes, well, we don't know for sure. The Quran does not say, and there's nothing in Hadith, but scholars determine his age to be between 7 to 12. He was not more than that. Okay. Just like maybe, I was imagining like Ahmed's age. So perhaps. Acha, do we know if interpretation of dreams, meaning of dreams is a real thing? Hmm? Hmm? Yeah, no, yes. Yes, it is a real thing. Yes. If someone has the knowledge, like a real scholar, they can interpret dreams. But for people like us, we should not dwell on it. But for certain things, we know from if we know from a story of the Prophet, or we know from Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, certain dream means, like for example, garden can have a good meaning. A big house can have a good meaning, like it may mean Jannah or something like that. Hmm. You can if you're at that level. If you have that level of knowledge, some people can interpret dreams. But for people like us, we shouldn't dwell on it. We shouldn't get into it. Okay? And just say, for example, perhaps because there are three kinds of dreams. Okay, everybody has three kinds of dreams. The first type of dream is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay, like a good dream or something which is a meaning like this. Like a prophet is receiving a dream from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that he's going to be a prophet one day. He's going to receive revelation one day. And then there can be dreams from shaitan also. Okay, like seeing something really scary, like nightmares, seeing yourselves committing big sins, or like night terrors kind of things. Those are from shaitan. Okay, or even shaitan can come in the form of a righteous man or your grandmother, or somebody who's passed away, and tell you to do something bad, or invent something like a bid'ah. Okay, you do this kind of ibadah or something like that. So shaitan can do that. And the third type of dreams is your own thoughts. Sometimes when you're really, really busy or really stressed out about something, you tend to see the same kind of dreams that you're doing, things that you're doing during the day. You're seeing the same things in your dreams also. Right. Yeah. Just like if you have exams, you see your exams in your dream all the time, right? You're doing past papers in your exams. Oh, okay. So then, O my son, do not relate your vision to your brothers, lest they plot against you. Some plot, or some can plot to kill you, and that the interpretation of these dreams. He knew that the interpretation of this dream meant that he's going to be a prophet one day. Acha. This also tells you another thing, that when things are in planning stages and something has not manifested yet, you have not completed something yet, you're planning to do something, like somebody who's planning to apply to a certain university, you're planning to travel, you're planning to get married, or something like that, then don't announce it to the whole world. We all know this, right? But a lot of times we forget when we're sharing with everybody, we forget. We just too quick to share the good news with everybody and post it on social media and just announce it to the whole world. Why is that? Why are we not allowed to do that? Why is that not a good thing? Hmm? Nazar, we all know this word. And it is true. Nazar is true, okay? The evil eye is true. And sometimes people don't even have to see. It's called nazar. Nazar means what in Urdu? Huh. Yeah, but to get nazar, to get the evil eye, or ayn in Arabic, you don't even have to see the thing to be jealous of it. Okay, and jealousy is what causes this. Really, the nazar is caused by jealousy, and jealousy is a real feeling. It's a real thing that everybody experiences. Is there anybody here who can say that I've never felt jealousy? It is a real thing, right? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who has created us, has also created our actions and also created the feelings within us. He's the one who's created these feelings. What can be the purpose of jealousy? Why has Allah Ta'ala created jealousy? Is there anything good about it? Hmm? To test us, but a lot of these feelings also have a good reason also. For example, if, yeah, hmm? To show you're grateful? Hmm. Jealousy can be necessary as well. In certain situations, things like jealousy and anger that are negative emotions, but they have their own place also. For example, if a man and a wife, the husband and wife, they're not jealous of, like a husband is not jealous that his wife is talking to strange men, she's, touching other men or whatever, Yeah, Rira. If that feeling is not there, then there's a problem, right? If somebody says something bad about your mother, and you don't feel angry, then there's a problem with you, right? So these negative, yeah, yeah. So jealousy and anger and these feelings also have their own place. But whenever you're feeling it in a place where you're not supposed to feel it, then you must control it. Then jealousy is not supposed to control you, you're supposed to control it. Okay? And when is the first time that a person usually feels jealous? Usually, the first time ever in your life. Yes, yes. This is the first time that a person feels jealous when usually an older sibling, when they see the baby being, cuddled and held by the mom. That's the first time that they feel it. They don't know what they're feeling. They just know how to cry. They just know, put that thing down. I'm gonna smash my doll, you smash yours. So yeah, this is the first time they feel it. But then if you're able to control this feeling, if you're able to overcome it, then I think the best relationship that any two human beings can have is between two siblings. The best friendship, at least, can be between two siblings because you are together with your siblings all your life. Since your childhood, you're with your siblings and you're together during your youth and your older years until your old age, because your parents, you might lose them when you're older, and your family, your spouse, your children, you meet them once you're older, but your siblings are with you all your life, right? So you can have the best friendship if you have a good relationship with your siblings. All right, so this is what Yusuf Salam's father said to him. And he said, thus your Lord will choose you and teach you the interpretation of dreams and complete his favor upon you and upon the family of Yaqub, as he has completed it upon your fathers before Ibrahim and Ishaq. Indeed, your Lord is knowing and wise. So, what is Yaqub alayhi salam telling his son over here? That he is going to be chosen as a prophet, and he will have the special ability to interpret dreams. And he also told him about his special family. This family of Yusuf alayhi salam is super super special, because who is Yusuf alayhi salam? Who's the father of Yusuf alayhi salam? Yaqub alayhi salam, who is a prophet of Allah. And who's the father of Yaqub alayhi salam? Ishaq alayhi salam, who is a prophet of Allah. And who's the father of Ishaq alayhi salam? Ibrahim alayhi salam, who is a prophet of Allah. What better lineage can you have? Okay, like my father is a doctor and his father was a doctor, and my everybody is a doctor in my family. But what do they say? Everybody's a prophet in my family, right? And let me tell you something about Ibrahim alayhi salam, which you all know, but let's reflect on it. Ibrahim alayhi salam's father, who was Ibrahim alayhi salam's father? Yeah, he was the manufacturer of idol worship, right? He used to make idols, and he was not very nice to his son. And Ibrahim alayhis salam was such a righteous, such a good son. He called his father to worship one Allah, and he continued to make dua for him even when his father was mean to him. Right? Ibrahim alayhis salam's father kicked him out of the house, and he said, "I'm going to stone you to death." That is what Ibrahim alayhis salam's father said to him. But he said, "Okay, my father, I will still make dua for you, and Allah has been kind to me." he was such a good son. So he was tested by this, because if your father says this to you, if your father even says, I will slap you, that is so hurtful, right? If you hear that from your parents. So not only that, his father said, I'm going to stone you to death. And still he was, patient with him and made dua to Allah for his father. So he was tested by this, and then he himself, Ibrahim alayhis salam, wanted to be a father. He wanted to have a child, and he kept making dua. He kept making dua, but for many, many years, he was also tested about this, that he was unable to have a child. He continued to make dua, and then eventually Allah Ta'ala gave him a child in old age, Ismail alayhis salam, and then he was given Ishaq alayhis salam. And you know that Ibrahim alayhis salam had other children also. These are not the only two sons. He had other children also, and he was blessed with children. But then what did Allah Ta'ala give him? All the prophets from here on were all children of Ibrahim alayhi salam. Okay, all the children that you just named, except for Nuh alayhi salam, and some prophets who came before him, like Lut alayhi salam, and Shuaib alayhi salam, and who else? Hud alayhi salam and Salih alayhi salam. They're not the children of Ibrahim alayhi salam. They were before him, or at the same time as him, like Lut alayhi salam. But all the other prophets, Dawud alayhi salam, Isa alayhi salam, Musa alayhi salam, they're all from the children of Ibrahim alayhi salam. Yaqub alayhi salam had three or four wives, okay, and he had 12 sons in all. Okay, total, he had 12 sons. But Yusuf alayhi salam only had one full brother. It is said that Yusuf alayhi salam's mother was extremely beautiful, and her name is mentioned in the Bible, in their books, in the books of the Jews and Christians. The name that is mentioned in their books is Rachel. Her name was Rachel, according to them. But we don't have a name. The Quran only mentions that which is important and relevant. If it is not relevant, Allah Ta'ala does not mention it in the Quran. So Yaqub alayhi salam had 10 other sons from other wives, and they were really jealous of Yusuf alayhi salam and his other brother. What was the name of the other brother? Do you know? Benjamin. Yeah. Benjamin and Yusuf alayhi salam, they were jealous of him, and they were jealous because they were beautiful and because they were good children. Yaqub alayhi salam was, he used to respond to their goodness, and because of that, they were jealous. Sometimes the jealousy between siblings is for this reason, that the child herself or himself is a good child, and the father or mother are responding to their goodness. But the naughty child, who's not behaving, who's not listening, who's not doing well in school, who's not serving their parents well, then they're just jealous because all they're seeing is their parents' response to the other siblings' goodness. So Yaqub alayhi salam, also this passage also tells you that Yaqub alayhi salam is quite switched on. He knows that these sons of his are not just jealous of him; they're capable of harming Yusuf alayhi salam. Okay, so that's why he was warned not to share his dream with his other brothers. Um, all right. So let us see how this jealousy of siblings of Yusuf alayhi salam, it proved to be really, really destructive. They were really jealous of him. I think light jala de Rida. Hmm. This is fine. Or Ritu, can you bring my chapstick? My lips are really dry. Hmm. Acha. So these brothers, now in Surah Yusuf, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala quotes them as talking amongst each other. They're talking to each other, and they're saying that, have you seen how our father gives more attention or more love to Yusuf, and let's kill him. We should kill him. So they're actually, jealousy is something that if you don't control it, it can lead to murder. Something that can escalate to murder as well. So um, yeah. So they were talking to each other and they're saying that let us kill him. But then one of them says, okay, let's not kill him, let's throw him in the well. Okay. And now you can see that these brothers, they must be bullying him. It's not just some random thing that they just thought of. They must be bullying him as well. Uh, do you guys, anybody, can you try and explain to me, or do you see the point of view of the brothers of Yusuf alayhi salam, or does it make sense to you? This this kind of jealousy? You see the point of view? Hmm. Hmm. Mhm. Okay, can you try? Can you see where they're coming from? Okay. Hmm. Hmm. Acha. Anybody else? They want to be special, they're not special. Okay, that may be. But this still does not make sense to me. It does not justify. I was trying to see if I can see their point of view, but I don't. I don't see this level of jealousy that can lead you to harm your sibling and a young boy, a child. His beauty, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Why is he special? So yeah, that may be. No, they don't know. And this is what Yaqub alayhi salam wants Yusuf alayhi salam to hide from them, because he knows that they will also understand that this is a sign of prophethood, because they are also from the family. They're from the same family. Yeah. So it's not just Yusuf alayhi salam who's from this special lineage. They are also from this special lineage, and still they're capable of this kind of evil. Yeah, 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 yeah. That's true. Yeah. Uh, you so yeah. You see that? Okay. I was focusing also on the psychology of bullying when a group of people, a group of boys or girls or whatever, a group of people who are stronger and they're bullying somebody who's weaker. Physically, he's small, he's weaker, and these boys are older. So I was kind of trying to analyze the psychology of bullying. So usually in cases like this, there is a ringleader, like somebody who's leading the bullying. And then there are people who are just supporting the bully because they want to show their loyalty to the bully. They want to be accepted. They want to show them that whatever you're doing is right. Okay, acha beta. So, what was I saying? So there's a ringleader, a leader who's leading the bullying, and then those who just always going to follow him. And sometimes those people who want to show their loyalty, they are worse in bullying than the person who's actually leading it. And then there are those who take part just because they don't want to be excluded. Those people who just join in because they don't want to be excluded. And then there are those people who stay quiet because they don't want to become the target. Hmm? So one of the brothers, the eldest brother, it is said that this was the eldest brother who said that let's not kill him because he could see that this is evil. And so he chose something which is less evil. He thought, I'm not going to be able to control the whole group. I'm not going to be able to stop them from harming him. So let me just convince them so that let's go and put Yusuf alayhi salam in a well. So they go to Yaqub alayhi salam and they try to convince Yaqub alayhi salam to let Yusuf alayhi salam go with them, and they're going to play in the desert and let them run around with Yusuf alayhi salam, and they're going to take care of him. Yaqub alayhi salam was very, very reluctant. He did not trust them, but they eventually convinced him that they could take him. So and what do they do over there? They put Yusuf alayhi salam in a well, and they took off his shirt, and they covered it in fake blood, just said that they slaughtered a sheep or a goat, and they put the goat's blood on the shirt, and they took it to Yaqub alayhi salam, and they said that, oh, our father, they went crying at night and with these crocodile tears, and they said, oh, our father, we could not do anything. We went running, we went racing, and when we came back, a wolf had devoured Yusuf, and he's basically he's dead. And Yaqub alayhi salam, upon seeing them, he knew that they're lying. He knew that Yusuf alayhi salam is not dead, but they harmed Yusuf alayhi salam. They did something to Yusuf alayhi salam, and because of this, he started crying, and he said that I'm not, um, he was really really heartbroken, and he said that I don't trust you, but I'm going to have sabrun jameel. I'm going to have beautiful patience. I think one of the worst things that for a parent to see is if one of your children harms the other. If your children are fighting and they're capable of harming another to this extent, to such an extent, this perhaps is one of the worst things that a parent can see. And when as a parent, if you see your children having fun together and taking care of each other and loving each other and having a good time together, just, being faithful to one another, then I think that is the best thing. It's very, very comforting. So Yaqub alayhi salam knew that his other sons have harmed Yusuf alayhi salam, but he said that I'm going to have sabrun jameel. What is the meaning of sabr? Patience, yeah. And but it is not just patience as we know in English, it is much richer than patience, huh? What happens in sabr? In sabr, it does not mean that you don't show your sadness. If you're feeling pain or you're feeling sadness, it does not mean that you don't show your sadness. You can show your sadness. You can cry when you're doing sabr, but you are sad and you're deeply affected because somebody who's saying, I'm doing sabr, they might not even be feeling that level of sadness, right? So you are feeling all the feelings, but you don't lose control of your emotions. You keep control of your emotions. You don't lose your iman. That's very, very important. When a person is doing sabrun jameel, if someone's having beautiful patience, they don't lose their iman, and they only complain to Allah, and they never complain about Allah. Have you heard people say things like that? That why is Allah doing this to me? Why is Allah being so unkind to me? This is not fair. This is so unjust. When someone's doing that, then they're not doing sabr. Okay, even if they don't cry, they're not doing sabr. So what did the brothers want? They wanted Yaqub alayhi salam to give all his attention to them. They wanted all the love of Yaqub alayhi salam for themselves. But what did they end up doing? They ended up hurting their father. They ended up really, really causing him a deep grief. When Yusuf alayhi salam was in the well, it was the first time that he was visited by Jibril alayhi salam. As a young boy, he was visited by Jibril alayhi salam, and it is said in Hadith that it was the first time that he was taught how to make dua. So he made dua, and Allah Ta'ala kept him, firm and steadfast, and he was not as scared as any ordinary child would have been in the well. Imagine his brothers, whom he trusted, had taken off his shirt and put him in the well and left him alone. It must be so scary. You're in a dark place and you're all alone. So what happened? There was a caravan that was passing that area, and they threw down a bucket to get water. And what did they find? They found a beautiful boy, Yusuf alayhi salam. And the person who was drawing the water, he exclaimed, "Oh, this is such good news! There's a beautiful boy." And what did they do to him? Made him a slave. And this is what people do. They take advantage of other people's grief, other people's, misfortune. They take advantage of it. Instead of finding out who this boy belongs to, maybe we can return him back to his family. Maybe we can take care of him or somehow. But they didn't. What did they do? They sold him in the slave market. Um, and Allah Ta'ala says in the Quran, this is actually very beautiful. Allah Ta'ala says that they did not know his value. They sold him for a very cheap price. Because who could determine the value of Yusuf alayhi salam? How much is Yusuf alayhi salam for? Who could determine that? Nobody, right? So they took him. Acha, do you know in what country, what land was Yaqub alayhi salam in? Egypt? No. It's Sham. It's called Sham, but this is actually the area of that is also Palestine is also included in this area. So he was perhaps in the land of Palestine. Okay. Uh, modern day Lebanon. Okay. Okay. Perhaps. When I was doing research, there was like this Palestine and Sham, this whole area. Perhaps it is more specifically the area of Lebanon. Hmm. Okay. But now Yusuf al-Islam has made his way to Egypt. The caravan took him to Egypt, and that's where they sold him. They sold him to a couple, Aziz and his wife, a rich man and his wife. This rich man was the treasurer of the king, and he had a high position in politics also. And he was his wife and himself. They did not have any children, so the rich man said to his wife, "Perhaps we can make use of him. He can work for us, and perhaps we can adopt him as a son." So he grew up in a house which was, of a high status. So he learned a lot of things in there, how to deal with people, and he learned many things, about how to handle money and different things like that. Uh, hmm. No. He was not a terrible man. Hmm. And we'll see in the story. We'll see what kind of man he was. He was not a terrible man. He was really in love with his wife, but he did not also want scandal. So we'll see that later on in the story. Hmm. So he grew up learning the manners of a noble family, but the biggest trial of Yusuf al Islam is yet to come. The trial that is going to happen next. So Yusuf al Islam, as he grew older, Abir just shared something about Yusuf al Islam a while ago. What did you share about Yusuf al Islam? Yes. Did you hear this before? That the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that as beauty was divided between people, Yusuf alayhi salam was given 50% of the half of all the beauty of everybody, and the rest of the 50% is divided between the rest of the humanity. So imagine how beautiful. I really want to see him. Like, how beautiful. Because, I mean, we look at people, if people are already, we know so many beautiful people, all of you, so beautiful. But then how beautiful is Yusuf alayhi salam, subhanAllah. So as he was growing up, he was, as he was reaching manhood, he was getting more and more beautiful. And this woman, she started feeling attracted to Yusuf alayhi salam. And this also tells you something over here. I'll stop here and talk a little bit about the importance of hijab and importance of not free mixing. So the importance of hijab and not free mixing, even if you have a huge age gap. Like for especially for me, my biggest test is when I have, seen a child from babyhood, when they were small, and now they are growing up or they have grown up and they are not my mahram, so I have to stay away from them because I still see them as a baby. I still, remember the time that I used to carry them, like my sister-in-law's son, their cousin, and my friends' children who I used to carry in my godi, and now they have a beard. And they're not my mahram. So even if you have a big age gap, and if even if there is no temptation, even if you still see each other like brother and sister, but you're not, right? And those are the limits of Allah, and that has to be maintained. So this is a message that I want you to give to your brothers as well, who are growing up, boys who are reaching that age, so that they should take care of this as well. When aunties are sitting, when girls are sitting, they shouldn't just walk in. They shouldn't just go and give a hug to people that they're not related to when they're getting to that age. They're getting a little older. Maybe when they're reaching the age of 8, 9, 10 years old, they should just maintain that physical distance also. And just like that, girls should also maintain a distance with uncles and cousins and all that. You should try and not just try, but avoid that completely. And especially, in our party, sometimes boys just walk into the women's section, and they are 14, 15 years old, and they're old enough, and we are not their mahram. So it's something that they should learn and we should learn as well. Um, so what was happening here? This young boy who was growing up in their house, just like their own son. But now that the woman can see him reaching an older age, she's feeling attracted to him. So what did she do? She did something really evil. She tried to seduce him, and she yeah, she attempts to seduce him, and she even closed the doors behind him and invited him to her. She said in the Quran, the words are "Haytala, come to me, come to me." So she's like verbally and with her actions, she's inviting him. And this, I think, is also symbolic. Sometimes all kinds of sins, different sins invite you like this. It doesn't have to be a man, it doesn't have to be a woman. It can be some other sin that is inviting you like this. Hey, Tala, come to me. So lots of times, and you have to keep away. You have to ask Allah for protection, just like Yusuf alayhi salam did. What did Yusuf alayhi salam do? Yusuf alayhi salam fiercely, resisted it. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions this in the Quran as well, that he was also inclined, he was also feeling attracted to her. She was a beautiful woman. This man was older to her. This is what Israelia, this is from their books. These details are not there in the Quran, but it is said that this man, the husband, was older than her, and she was younger, and she was very beautiful. She's rich, she's powerful, she's beautiful, she's confident, and she's offering herself to him. And he's young, he's beautiful, and he's at that age when he can fall into sin, but he's fiercely rejecting her. And um, yeah. Um, Yusuf alayhi salam said, I seek refuge. قال معاذ الله إنه ربي أحسن مثواي. He said, I seek refuge in Allah. Surely He is my Rabb. He made my living in a great comfort. And hmm, uh, I think we have spoken about it a while ago, but we have spoken about it a few times. That on the day of judgment, there will be seven categories of people under the shade of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's throne. Do you remember we've spoken about it? And this applies to men and women both. So let's just revise this. Who are these seven categories of people who will be under the cool shade of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's throne when on the day of judgment? You remember how hot it is going to be? The sun is going to come so close that people are going to be drowning in their sweat. Some people are going to be in their sweat up to their ankles, some up to their knees, some up to their chest. Some will be completely drowning in their sweat. That is how hot this day is, how hard this day is. And some people are going to be so honored, they will be under the cool shade of Allah's throne. And who are these people? The first category of people is a just ruler, a person who rules in a really just manner. Can you name a just ruler from Islam? Actually, not from today. You're looking, huh? Who? Yeah. Abu Bakr, very good. Who else? Hmm? The four Khalifas, very good. And the second category, this category does not include women. The first one, which is the just ruler, it does not include women. The second one, a youth who grew up worshiping Allah. Hmm? Uh, can we be from this category? Yeah, especially you girls, because you have grown up from your childhood. You have worshipped Allah, and you have prayed, and you have put on the hijab, and don't ever stray from this. Okay, then you can be in this category. Then the third category, a person whose heart is attached to the masjid, a person who's always going to the masjid. Whenever it's time to pray, they're ready to go to the masjid. What about women? Salah. When your heart is attached to Salah, whenever you're thinking about Salah, from one Salah to the other, you're waiting for the next Salah, and you're ready to go and pray immediately. Two people who love each other for the sake of Allah. Hmm? We can be from these people. Yeah, when you love your friends for the sake of Allah, and you have no other reason to love them but for the sake of Allah. And when you see each other, you remind each other of good things. And you can love your siblings for the sake of Allah. You can love your parents for the sake of Allah as well. Okay, and then a person who gives charity in secret, giving it so privately that even their left hand does not know that what their right hand gives. Can this be men and women both? Yes, of course. Then a person who remembers Allah in solitude and weeps. When you out of khashya of Allah, do you know the meaning of khashya? It's a special it's a positive kind of fear, and it is a fear, but that can only be for Allah. Okay? It's a special kind of fear. And then the last category, a person who rejects temptation, like somebody who's of a high position and they're good looking and you're attracted to them as well, and someone is approached like that, and they say, I fear Allah, and they stop them. So Yusuf alayhi salam is from this category. No, this is if someone approaches you in a, for a sexual favor or something. So for that reason, someone, rejects them for Allah, hmm, then they are in this category. So Allah saved him because he asked for Allah's protection, and Allah Ta'ala saved him. Allah saved him in two ways. The first way that Allah Ta'ala saved him was he was able to control himself. He had enough control on himself to stay away from this woman. And the second way that Allah Ta'ala saved him was that the Aziz, the husband, walked in. The husband walked in. Now, as soon as the husband walked in, she tried to twist things and she put the blame on Yusuf alayhi salam. She framed him. She said that, what would you do to the one who is trying to seduce your wife? What would you do to him? So she put the blame on Yusuf alayhi salam. Hmm? Initially, he believed him, and it is said that Yusuf alayhi salam was beaten as well. He was severely beaten. He believed his wife. Huh? Sorry, not him, her. He believed her, and he was being severely beaten, but he refused to admit. No matter how much he was being beaten, he refused to admit. He said, no, no, she was the one who came on to me, and I did not do this. So he kept repeating himself, and then he asked, or it was said that we must call a witness. Somebody has to judge because it's like she said, he said, she said. So we have to decide who actually. Hmm. Yeah. So witness was called from the household, and the person said that if because she was saying that he was attacking me, and he's saying that I was trying to run away from her. I was trying to get away from her. So the witness said that if his shirt is torn from the front, that means that he was attacking her, and she is right. And if he was actually trying to get away from her, as he's saying, and she was trying to grab him, then his shirt will be torn from the back, and that means that he is telling the truth. So his shirt was actually torn from the back, and he was telling the truth. So it was proven. But then what does the husband say? The husband goes to Yusuf alayhi salam and said, Yusuf, just let it go. Just, leave it. Just, get move on. Just leave this. Forgive her and move on. And he said to her, just seek Allah's forgiveness and forget about it. Don't do this again. Why did he do that? Why would a husband do that? Hmm? He doesn't want his wife to go to jail. Loves his wife. Hmm? He doesn't want a scandal. I think he doesn't want a scandal. Uh, hmm? Hmm? Hmm. He doesn't want people to be talking about it. This is what I think. And scholars have different opinions about it. One opinion is that she was so beautiful that he was just willing to just forgive everything. Mm. So mm, I don't know. Uh, but he doesn't do that, yeah? In the future, the story that's coming, he doesn't do that, huh? Maybe it's a combination of all of that. But Yusuf Alayhi salam, I don't think he cared about Yusuf Alayhi salam so much. What does this woman do after this? He's still, because she's faced rejection. She does not like to be rejected, and people started talking because there were other servants in the house also, and this incident. People knew about it. Okay, this has happened, and Aziz's wife wanted to seduce the boy, and she's attracted to him. So people had started gossiping. So what did she do? She invited these people who were gossiping to her house, and she gave them all some fruit, or so we call them for dinner or lunch or whatever, and gave them a fruit and knives to each one of the women. And then she called Yusuf alayhi salam. So as Yusuf alayhi salam walked in and they were trying to cut something, because they were so dazzled by his beauty, they ended up cutting their hands. They ended up cutting their hands. So she said, "See, do you see that? What am I facing? This, as if trying to prove that he's so beautiful that I can't help myself." So justifying her actions. And if you try to think of it, this incident, like how Yusuf alayhi salam walked in, and these women are these unks, these ladies are looking at Yusuf alayhi salam. Yeah, and he's a prophet of Allah. He's a modest young man, and it is said that some Sahabas have said this in their teachings. That it is not a hadith, but some of the Sahabas have said that Yusuf alayhi salam used to keep his face covered. Have you seen some Arabs? They cover their face with their turban. They take a piece of their turban and cover their face. So he used to keep his face covered because he did not like people looking at him, because he knew that Allah Ta'ala has given him beauty, but he wasn't like flaunting it, and he did not want the attention also. So all these room full of women, they're looking at him, and they're like objectifying him and talking about his beauty, and one of them is trying to justify that it's not my fault that I'm attracted to him. He's a young man now, so it's said that he's in his 20s. And this is all determined by scholars. There's no exact age given in the hadith or in the Quran. Mm. He's grown up now, yeah. He's reached manhood. So yeah. At this point, Yusuf alayhi salam makes a dua, and he makes a dua that, Ya Allah, my Rabb, prison is more beloved to me than what they call me to. So he makes dua to be sent to prison. He actually makes dua to be sent to prison, and it so happens that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes this happen, and he ends up in prison. Because this situation is getting out of control, people are still talking, and Aziz's wife is getting out of control. She just, is set on seducing him, and she's still blaming Yusuf alayhi salam. So to control the situation without any proper, accusation, he's sent to jail, because these people are powerful people. They can, make things happen. They can make people disappear. So Yusuf alayhi salam is sent to prison. There he keeps receiving revelation. He is a prophet of Allah. He does dawah. He's a good man, and people see that he's a good man. So they were in the prison. Yeah. And in prison, there were two inmates who came to him once, and he said that they said that we see you as a good man. We see you from the Muhsinin, and we have seen dreams. Like each of them, they had dreams, and they wanted Yusuf alayhi salam to interpret their dreams for them. So Yusuf alayhi salam said, I'm going to tell you the meaning of your dreams before your food comes. Before lunch, I will tell you the meaning of your dreams. But Achad, let me first tell you the dreams. So one of them saw that there are birds that are eating bread from his head, and the other one saw that he's pressing wine. One of them was a baker. The scholar says that one of them was a king's, he used to give wine to the king, and the other one was a baker. So this is the dream that they had. And he said, I have seen myself carrying upon my head some bread, which the birds were eating. And the other one said that I saw myself in the dream pressing wine. So Yusuf alayhi salam told them that I will tell you the meaning of your dream. And Hmm. Acha. So he said, he started giving them dawah first. So he thought that this is a good chance. People have come to me, they want to talk to me, and they have come to me in a way that they are telling me that they trust me. So it is a good opportunity for me to do dawah. So he called them to Islam. He said, "Oh, my prison buddies, prison friends, why don't you worship one Allah? Is one Allah not better than having many gods? How is having one God better than having many?" It's so confusing. Yeah. It's not that it's not that complicated. Yeah. Huh? You trust him, yeah. And scholars also say that one of the proofs of that there is only one God is that how things work so well in harmony, the day and night and all the systems work so well. If there were multiple gods, they will constantly be fighting amongst one another, which is actually the stories of a lot of like the Greek gods and all that. They are always the stories, they are fighting, right? And if in reality this was the case, then you would see that that things will be in chaos. So he said to Yusuf alayhi salam, he told Yusuf alayhi salam about other prophets also, about his Ibrahim alayhi salam and all the other prophets, and how they have believed in one God. And he told them the names and attributes of Allah as well. He told them two names of Allah here: Al-Wahid, Al-Wahid, Al-Qahhar. Hmm? What is the meaning of Al-Wahid? The one, Al-Qahhar. Sort of, yeah, that's the one who overpowers, and the one who overcomes. So these two names together are very powerful because he is one and he is Al-Qahhar. He does not need the help of anyone else to, and he is able to overcome everyone and everything. Mm. So he told Yusuf alayhi salam these two names. He said, "O my companions of prison, are separate lords better, or Allah, the one, the prevailing, Al-Wahid, Al-Wahid, Al-Qahhar?" Um, he said, "O my two companions of prison, as for one of you, he will pour wine for his master to drink." So he said that he is going to become the king's wine server, the one who serves wine. In their Sharia, it was allowed to serve wine. It was allowed to drink wine. Wine was allowed. In, yes, it was made haram in the life of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and we have proof of that from the Quran as well. Okay. And then he said to the man who saw a dream that he was mm, hmm, the one who was told that he's birds are going to eat from his head. He was told that he's going to be crucified, and birds are going to be eating from his head. So he's going to be crucified. Um, Acha. Um, so we spoke about how interpreting dreams is not for everybody, and Yusuf alayhi salam had been given this special position, and sometimes scholars also have this knowledge. There are special people who specialize in interpretation of dreams, but we shouldn't dwell on anything too much. Should you tell your dreams to people? Especially bad dreams. Bad dreams, you should try and forget about it and just make dua to Allah, because there is a hadith about it that dreams are like birds, okay, and or their dreams are like tied to the bird's feet. The wordings are something like that, and if you interpret the dream, if you tell the meaning of the dream, then that meanings come becomes attached to it. Like whatever you say, like somebody says that I saw in my dream that I'm drinking coffee, and you give a meaning to the dream that it means that you're going to be very rich. So that meaning becomes attached to it. Okay. Even if you're making it up. Hmm? So you should not talk about your dreams with people. But if you have a good dream, you can tell people that you trust. Okay, like your family or your friends, people that you know are not going to be jealous of this if it is a good dream. Okay. And another thing, very, very important. Do you know that it is very, very sinful? It is a big sin to say a bad, like a false lie about your dreams. If you lie about your dream, if you tell people that you had a dream when you did not have that dream, then it is a very, very big sin, and it is punishable on the day of judgment. Hmm? Rasulullah SAW said that if somebody says a dream that they did not have, they claim to have a dream that they did not have, then on the day of judgment, they will be given two grains of corn or two, strings of something, and they will be asked to tie it, and they will not be able to tie it. Mm. If you're not doing it on purpose, then yeah. And if you're confused, it's better to not say anything at all. But if you had a confusing dream and you want to talk about it, maybe I saw this, maybe I feel like I saw this. It's okay that you're not making it up for. And sometimes people make up dreams for a very, very bad reason also. Like a lot of bid'ahs came from dreams. People said that I saw Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He came in my dream and he said to worship Allah in this and this way, and it is all made up. Hmm? So, mm. Or they could be lying. I don't know. This is where the hadith ended. They have to tie the corn or the pieces of corn or something like that. Okay. Yes, yes, you can. Lots of people have seen Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam in their dreams. May Allah make us of those people who see Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam in his dream. I sometimes, while I'm falling asleep, I try to remember everything that I know about his description, and maybe I will see him in my dream. But subhanallah, people who see him are very, very lucky people. Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said that anybody who sees me in my dream has really seen me, because shaitan can never take my form. So it is, they have, if they you see him, then you have seen him. Okay, and they will see him on the day of judgment, also means they will be with him on the day of judgment. So try and learn his description, what he looks like. I have a video of it on YouTube. Watch it. Where describing Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, what we know about him. Okay, then what happens? The man who saw himself pressing wine, he was going to be released. That was the meaning of his dream, that he's going to be released and he's going to be working in the king's court. So that was good news for him. Uh, he was doing something before. He was a winemaker or something. But now, according to the dream, Yusuf alayhi salam knew this is the meaning of the dream, that he's going to be working for the king. He's going to be serving wine to the king. So he said that when you release, talk to your master, the king, and tell him about my situation. Tell him that, and he was not accused. He was not accused of anything without a trial. He's in jail for so many years. So he said, talk to your master about me, and maybe he's going to do something about my case. But what happened? This man, when he was released, the Quran says, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that shaitan made him forget. So he forgot about it. He was a free man now, and he's doing all the things that free men do, and he's forgotten all about Yusuf alayhi salam. And he actually started working in the king's court, and he was serving him wine. One day, what happens? Yusuf alayhi salam continued to live in prison, and he is in the king's court. And one day, he was serving wine to the king, and the king was really distressed, and he was talking about a dream that he had, and he was talking to the people in his court, how he saw that there were seven fat cows, and they were being eaten by seven skinny cows. And then he woke up really, really, really stressed, and he was really scared, and then he went back to sleep. Actually, I would like to read from here. Uh, Years later, the king of Egypt has a deeply disturbing recurring dream. Seven fat cows being eaten by seven lean ones, and seven green ears of grain being replaced by seven dry ones. And then when he talks to the people in the court, he said, "Oh, noble people, tell me the interpretation of this dream." Like, he was really disturbed by it, and he knew that this dream meant something. When people interpret dreams, this knowledge is also important, that who had this dream. Like, if a king has a dream, it will have a different meaning. If the same dream, so if you can't just read from a book and interpret dreams, because it's important to know that who actually, if a woman is having this dream, or a child, or a poor person, or a rich person, so it's important to know. So the people said these are just mix-up dreams. It is just your thoughts. Don't worry about it. They were comforting him, but they did not know how to interpret dreams. So this person who was serving wine, he suddenly remembers Yusuf alayhi salam now, and he says, "I know someone who can tell you the meaning of your dream, and let me go, and I will get the meaning of your dream from this person." So he goes to the prison. He goes to meet Yusuf alayhi salam, and he said, "Oh noble man Yusuf, you are from the Muhsinin, you're a good man, and tell me the meaning of this dream." And the king had this dream. So Yusuf alayhi salam, without asking for anything in return, he immediately tells the meaning of the dream. And he also gives him the solution also. Mm, he said, Yusuf alayhi salam is consulted, and he interprets the dream. Egypt will experience 7 years of abundant harvest, followed immediately by 7 years of severe and devastating famine. He advises the king to store the grain during the good years to survive the bad ones. When then this man, he goes to back to the king, and he said that this is the interpretation of the dream, and how to he also tells him how to store the corn, to leave it in the ears, the ears of corn. What are the ears of corn? The leaves, and to leave some of the corn inside the ears, and this way it will be stored for a long time. So the king was comforted that he's got the meaning of the dream, and he's got a solution to the problem as well. So he wants to reward Yusuf alayhi salam. He's said to the cupbearer, to the wine server, to the man, he said, I want to reward him, and so call him to me. So Yusuf alayhi salam, the man goes back to Yusuf alayhi salam. He said, Yusuf alayhi salam said that I don't want any reward. What I want is, tell your king, tell your master, what was the situation about the women who could cut their hands. He wants to know what was the situation about the women who cut their hands. What does he want here? He wants to be released from the prison, but he wants his position to be cleared. He wants his name to be cleared. The scandal that is attached to his name, that he is the one who attacked the woman, or maybe he was trying to do something wrong. He wants that to be cleared. He does not want an apology. He does not want the woman to be punished, but he just wants that his name is cleared. So because of that, but he was not really accused of anything. Because these people, the Aziz and his wife and this family, they were influential people. So sometimes powerful people, they can be corrupt as well. And if they don't like someone, they can throw them in jail without a proper trial or anything. So this is what he was accused of, sort of, but there was no trial, there was no proof that he had actually done this. So he wants his name to be cleared. These women were called, and these women actually, they said that he is telling the truth. He never did anything. And then even the wife of Aziz, she admitted her mistake, and she said that Shaitan made me do this, and he's innocent. He did not do anything. So Yusuf al-Islam is cleared of this accusation that he was accused of. Do you know anybody in Islam who was accused of something similar and they were innocent? Aisha radiallahu anha, and Maryam alayhi salam Maryam alayhi salam as well was accused, and Aisha radiallahu anha really, had a tough time. There was a surah and just a certain ayahs that were revealed to clear her of her this Aisha radiallahu anha. Maybe after food we can talk about it. Okay. So yeah, but and all these three people, sometimes people say that don't worry about what people are saying about you. If somebody's saying something wrong about you, don't care about it. But these righteous people, if it hurts us, if it hurts us that somebody's saying something about us that we have not done, and it hurts us, then the most righteous people have been hurt by this, and it did affect them. So it is important to care about your reputation, and it makes sense that, if we don't want people to say anything bad about us. Acha. So what happened now? The king is very happy with Yusuf, and he finds out that he was not, even though he was in prison, he had not actually done anything. So, and this king was a just king. He was a good king. He wanted Yusuf alayhi salam to work in his court. He wanted Yusuf alayhi salam to work closely with himself. But Yusuf alayhi salam said, make me the treasurer, make me responsible for the food storage and handling that whole thing. So, and why did he want this? Because he knew that he's going to be able to handle it. He was the most knowledgeable in this, and he will be able to benefit people. To be able to benefit people, he will be able to do that because of the knowledge that he has. And who can be more just than a prophet? Yusuf alayhi salam. Hmm. I'm not sure actually. I'm not sure. He was doing dawah, but I'm not sure if he was. Maybe I can find out. That I don't know. Hmm. It is said that it is in this time that Yusuf al-Islam got married, and he got married to a noble, righteous, and beautiful woman, of a good status. Um, hmm. So Yusuf alayhi salam is released, and the king wants to keep him in a high position with him. But Yusuf alayhi salam asked to be appointed as chief treasurer and wants to be the administrator of Egypt's food supplies so he could manage the hard times ahead. Yusuf alayhi salam successfully manages the country through the 7 years of abundance, preparing the kingdom for the crisis, setting the stage for the day that his starving brothers would travel from Palestine to beg him for food. You know that happened? Mm. And now, everything, this story had a beginning, right? In introduction, a beginning, and then a climax, and all the things seem to be going wrong for Yusuf alayhi salam for a while. And now everything is starting to work out. So let's see. He's released from jail. He's married now. He's got a good position. And now his brothers traveled from, because when the famine struck, it affected Egypt and the surrounding areas as well. So the severe famine strikes the region affecting both Egypt and where Yusuf's family lives. Hearing that Egypt had stored grain, Yusuf's brothers traveled there to buy provisions. When they arrived, Yusuf recognizing them immediately, but they did not recognize him. Why did they not recognize him? He is so much older, and also, hmm? Or they were at least they were not expecting him to be working in in such a high position, right? They were not expecting this, and of course he's older now as well. What must he have felt if when he saw his brothers? Huh? Anger, hurt, sadness. Hmm. Maybe bittersweet. What I was imagining, if I was in Yusuf Al position, my heart would be in my throat. Like my heart would be beating so hard, I would not be able to speak. But subhanAllah, Allah Ta'ala has given a lot of courage to the prophets. They're emotionally very, very strong as well. Not just, and physically, emotionally, in every way. The prophets of Allah are the strongest. Uh, Anyone else would need so much therapy. Mm. So, um, Hmm. They assume the younger brother had died in a well. That's said here. Yusuf provides them with grain, but uses a strategy to see his full brother, Binyamin. Binyamin was not there with them. Okay, Binyamin is his full brother. The other, how many? The nine, right? Nine, 10 brothers. The 10 brothers, they had come to Egypt to receive the food, and he had a system. Yusuf alayhi salam had a system. So every person who brings a camel, and the government of Egypt, under the leadership of Yusuf alayhi salam, is going to give each person a camel load of provision for the whole year. But if you say that I have my auntie and I have my brother and I have my popo and people back home, you're not going to get anything for them. So the person who is going to receive the provision has to come in person. Okay, so you can't, in time of famine, you can't bulk buy. Hmm? Hmm. No, no. He was younger as well, and we'll see in the story. It is proven that. Yeah, because he is the full brother, and he is from the same mother as Yusuf alayhi salam. Hmm? But not as much as Yusuf alayhi salam. Yeah. So. No, just the brothers came, and they wanted to take provisions for their family back home, and they also named Binyamin as well. That I have another brother, Binyamin. I want food for him also. So Yusuf alayhi salam said, "Okay, fine. I'm giving you the food now, but you have to bring your brother next time. Otherwise, you're not going to get any food." This was his strategy also to be able to see his brother. And what did he do? Whatever money they had given and whatever things they had given to Yusuf alayhi salam to buy the food, Yusuf alayhi salam kept it back in their luggage. So when they went back to their father, when they went back to their land, they opened their luggage and they saw that their money had been returned to them. They thought maybe we forgot to give the money and the king is not going to give us food next time, so we have to go back, but we're going to take Binyamin with us also. So now they try to convince Yaqub alayhi salam to let Binyamin go with them. And you can understand why Binyamin was not with them, because they did not trust these boys anymore. So, or men. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He had, yeah. That is also coming up in the story. So, huh. When the brothers return home, they find their money returned. They realize they must go back, and Yusuf alayhi salam is now does not trust them, and he's terrified of losing another son. But because can see that the land is starving, and we do need the provisions, he made them promise, and he said, he also instructs them that, okay, take him, but you have to promise me that you're going to take very good care of him. And they also promise that nothing will happen to Benjamin. We will bring him back. And but he also gives them a very specific instructions when they're going back to Egypt. He said, all of you are going all together. Do not enter from the same gate. Enter from different gates. Why did he say that? Yaqub alayhi salam said to all his sons, enter from separate gates. Don't and yes, for Nazar. Yeah, because all of them, these, of course, the other brothers of Yusuf alayhi salam were also good-looking men, and all of them together, these big group of boys, brothers, and they're all entering together. Someone might say, "Oh, all of these, they're such good-looking men, and they're all brothers," and they might get Nazar. Fine. Hmm? So he told them to enter from separate gates. When they arrived back in Egypt, Yusuf al-Islam treats them honorably. He secretly puts Binyamin aside, pulls Binyamin aside, and reveals his true identity to him. Measuring, I should wear my glasses, no? Not measuring him, reassuring him. Okay, again. When he arrives back in Egypt, Yusuf treats him honorably. He secretly pulls Benjamin aside and reveals his true identity to him, reassuring him that he has a plan. So he tells Benjamin at this point, somebody was asking me just now that was he good with Benjamin. Benjamin also used to get bullied by Yusuf salam's other brothers. So he tells Benjamin, I know what they have been doing to you. So he knew that they must be treating Benjamin the same way. And he knows that Benjamin was also being bullied by these same brothers. Maybe they were more jealous of Yusuf alayhi salam. Yusuf alayhi salam was a prophet, so he was more special. And they had already done something like this, something so big to Yusuf alayhi salam. So perhaps they did not have the courage to do the same thing. But they still don't. They don't know. In the end, they do find out. Abhi to, they don't even know this is Yusuf alayhi salam. They don't even know he's alive, right? Um, to me, what seems like in the story, he's not um, you know, functioning as a prophet, like that makes sense. Like he's more like the working as a treasurer. He's not giving dawah to them. So I don't know whether he is actively calling people to Allah, or he is a prophet, but I don't know. Maybe But he has he has received revelation so far. And in the prison, he kind of was like yeah, yeah, he was. And it is mentioned in another part of the Quran that he did call people to Allah. Okay. Where was I? Huh. Then Yusuf alayhi salam gave the grain or the food to the brothers and filled their camels with all the provision that they were there for. But what does he do? He takes a gold cup of the king. The king had a gold measuring cup that he used to drink from, and he used to measure and give sadaqah from that measure and give sadaqah from that cup. And it was a cup that belonged to the king. He took that gold cup and put it in Binyamin's luggage. Hmm? Put it in Binyamin's luggage, and as they were departing, he asked somebody to do this for him. A man cried out that the king's cup is missing, the king's cup is missing, and we have to search everybody. So their luggage was searched, and it appeared from Benjamin's luggage, and they said, "Oh, this boy he's stolen, so he's a thief." And what would happen now? Yeah, he will have to stay back. So this was a plan of Yusuf alayhi salam. But this was to you it might seem like this is deception, but this was what he was commanded to do by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This was the command of Allah that he was fulfilling. So Benjamin, the gold cup comes out of Benjamin's luggage, and they all are saying that he's a thief. Now, first, when they were going to be searched, they were saying, "Oh, we're not thieves. We've never done this, and we are honest people and trust us and everything." But then, when the gold cup appears from Benjamin's luggage, they said, "Oh, his brother has stolen before as well." Like they accused Yusuf alayhi salam of being a thief also, and they said, "Okay, it's not surprising that he has stolen because his brother has stolen before as well." Yusuf alayhi salam, according to their Sharia, if anybody steals from you, then you can do whatever you want with them, and you sort of own them now. So when it was proven that Binyamin had stolen, according to their Sharia, he was supposed to be kept back by Yusuf alayhi salam, and he's now going to stay with Yusuf alayhi salam. So their brothers started pleading. They said, okay, our father is an old man and we have promised him. So please let our brother go with him. And they were now really scared that if we go back to our father without Yusuf alayhi salam, he's going to be so upset with us that we have lost another one of his sons. And so, according to the books of the Jews and the Christians, their mother had already passed away. But in Islam, there is no proof of that. In fact, in the end, there is a proof that the mother was alive. Okay. But there's no mention of, throughout this story, there's no mention of the mother. There is a mother, of course, but there's no mention of the mother in the whole story. And I will tell you something interesting afterwards about this also. Um, when it's time for them to return back and they are not able to take Benjamin with them, Yusuf Hassan said, "No way, I'm not returning you, Benjamin. He's going to stay right here. This is the law." So the eldest brother, and which was the same brother who had said that, don't kill him, put him in the well. The same brother said, "Okay, because I'm bound by my promise. I told my father that I'm not going to return back without Benjamin, so I'm going to stay as well." So he decided to stay also. These brothers returned back to Yaqub alayhi salam, and mm, uh, the eldest brother, bound by the oath to Yaqub alayhi salam, refuses to return and stays behind in Egypt out of shame. And he said to the other brothers, "Return to your father and say, 'Oh, father, indeed your son has stolen, and we do not testify except to that which we know. And we were not a witness to the unseen." And Yaqub alayhi salam was, when they returned back to Yaqub alayhi salam, and they said to Yaqub alayhi salam that your son has stolen, he said, I do not believe this. I don't believe that my son could ever steal, and you have done the same thing that you did to Yusuf, you've done the same to Binyamin. And by this time, Yaqub al-Islam had cried so much that he had lost his eyesight. He used to miss Yusuf alayhi salam so much that he lost his eyesight. And this is an actual, a condition that when your eyes can be completely fine, sometimes out of grief or out of shock, people go blind. And there's nothing wrong with the eye. It is all psychological, but you can go blind. So this is an actual thing that you could have happened. Maybe this happened to Yaqub alayhi salam. Some people say that it was cataract, and because of so much crying, he had gone blind like this. But then the way that miraculously the eyesight came back, it is possible that he had this condition, which is called a hysterical blindness or conversion disorder. Have you heard of this? It's a psychological disorder because of grief. A person can just not see. They lose the ability to see, even though there's nothing wrong with their brain, nothing wrong with their eyes. So he used to miss Yusuf alayhi salam so much. And yes, Yaqub alayhi salam said, "Your own selves have made you do something, so patience is the most befitting." He again said, "Fasabrun Jamil." And he did not believe them. And the brother said that you can go to the city and you can ask them that really he did actually steal. Then he started calling, "Oh, my grief," and he was missing Yusuf alayhi salam. He started calling out, "My grief for Yusuf." And because now he's sad for Binyamin also, and he's remembering Yusuf alayhi salam as well, who he lost a long time ago. Um, and And then he said, I complain of my grief and my sorrow only to Allah, and I know from Allah that which you do not know. Um, and and then um they kept saying that why do you keep bringing Yusuf alayhi salam up, why do you keep bringing him up, maybe you will die out of grief of remembering Yusuf alayhi salam so much. Then he tells his son to go back to Egypt and try and find Yusuf and try and get Binyamin back and the older son as well. And they said, will you not forget about Yusuf because he's not returning back, basically they were saying he's not returning back, why do you keep bringing him up and he's not going to come back. So and he said that Yaqub alayhi salam at this point said that you should never lose hope in the mercy of Allah. You should never, because whoever loses hope in the mercy of Allah, they have basically done kufr. It is kufr to lose hope in the mercy of Allah. So he forced his sons to go back to Egypt and try and find, to try to get Benjamin back and try to find Yusuf alayhi salam also. So as they're returning back to Egypt, and in this time, Yusuf alayhi salam talks to the older brother also, and he says, "Do you know what you did to Yusuf and his brother when you were ignorant?" He said this to the older brother. Yusuf alayhi salam said this to the oldest brother who had stayed back. Yeah, so Yusuf alayhi salam said to the oldest brother, "Do you know what you did to Yusuf and the his brother?" So as the older brother is looking at him, he said, "Oh, are you Yusuf? You, Anta, Yusuf?" So Yusuf alayhi salam said, "Yes, it is. I am Yusuf, and this is my brother, and Allah has indeed been gracious to me." And it's so sweet, Subhanallah, that he has been through so much. But what is he saying? He's being grateful in this moment that Allah has been so grateful to me. And his brother said that indeed, Allah Ta'ala has been grateful to you, that gracious to you. Yeah, sorry. Allah Ta'ala has been gracious to you because, now he was in this position. Um, the Now, um, I missed a whole part over here, so I'm just going to say it from my memory. Hmm. Um, Now, on the other hand, yeah, Yusuf alayhi salam, Yaqub alayhi salam has told the other sons to return back to Egypt also and to find Benjamin and Yusuf alayhi salam. And here Yusuf alayhi salam said to the older brother and the sons who have returned in this time, he said, take this shirt of mine and take it to Yaqub alayhi salam. Now, some sons are back with Yaqub alayhi salam and some are with Yusuf alayhi salam, and he gives them this shirt and tells them to take it to Yaqub alayhi salam, and he says, bring the whole family to me, bring your whole family, entire family, like all of you migrate to Egypt now. So they go to Yaqub alayhi salam, and Yaqub alayhi salam, while he's sitting there, he says, oh, I can feel the fragrance of Yusuf, I can smell him. And these people, the brothers who were still with Yaqub alayhi salam, they said that you're just, losing your mind in your grief and in your old age. You've started to lose your mind. How can you smell Yusuf? And it so happened that the caravan was bringing the shirt of Yusuf alayhi salam, and as it was drawing closer, he could smell it. And then the brothers who were bringing the shirt, they come to Yaqub alayhi salam and they give him the shirt, and Yusuf alayhi salam said, "Put it on the face of my father." So when the shirt is placed on his face, as the shirt is removed, he can see again. He can smell the smell of Yusuf alayhi salam, and his eyesight is returned back. Um, the brothers are consumed by fear and guilt, but Yaqub alayhi salam also, they say, "Oh, our father, ask forgiveness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for us." So they're not even turning back to Allah themselves. They're telling the father to ask for forgiveness for them. But Yaqub alayhi salam he said that I will ask for forgiveness for you. So all of them now are on their way to the happy ending, to the end of the story. They are moving and making their way to Egypt, to Yusuf alayhi salam. And as they're entering, Yusuf alayhi salam said, and the brothers are filled with fear and guilt, but Yusuf alayhi salam instantly forgives them and says, "No blame will be upon you today. May God forgive you. May Allah forgive you." And and then uh, yeah, when they are entering, when the parents are entering. So here it says that when the parents were entering, and Yusuf alayhi salam also raised them to the throne. So the word that is mentioned are parents. Okay, so the mother was there. It seems that the mother was there. He said, Yusuf alayhi salam said, "Enter Egypt, Allah willing, safe and secure." And then Yusuf elevates his parents to a place of high honor on his throne. And then what did they do? All of them, all of the brothers and the mother and the father, they made sajda to Yusuf alayhi salam, which was a sajda of respect. Okay, this was also allowed in the Sharia. It was allowed in the Sharia, and it is a sajda of respect, not of worship. And this was forbidden in the Sharia of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. For us, it is not allowed to do sajda to anyone or anything, okay, except for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The reaction of Yaqub Islam when he met Yusuf Islam? Okay, so they all bow down before him in respect, fulfilling the prophetic dream Yusuf alayhi salam has had as a young boy. Do you remember the dream that Yusuf alayhi salam had? The sun and the moon, the parents, and the 11 stars are the brothers. Yusuf praises Allah for bringing him out of the prison, uniting his family, and turning past evils into beautiful endings. And then make this dua. He says these words: "My Lord has made it a reality. He was certainly good to me when he took me out of prison and brought you here. After Shaitan has induced enmity between me and my brothers. Indeed, my Lord is subtle." He said another word, another name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala here, which is Al-Latif. Al-Latif. Have you heard this name of Allah before? Do you know what it means? The subtle. Also has the meaning of beautiful and of all kinds of softness and beauty. And if you can describe the story of Yusuf alayhi salam in with one name of Allah, it is Al-Latif. That everything is happening in such a subtle way. Everything, and we will just talk about this, how we can get the lesson of qadar of Allah, and Allah Ta'ala's name Al-Latif can be understood by the story of Yusuf alayhi salam. That let me finish this dua and then I will tell you about this also. So he says the name of Allah, Al-Latif. Indeed, my Lord is Al-Latif in what He wills. Indeed, He is the He indeed it is He who is the knowing and the wise. So he blamed Shaitan. He did not blame his brother. He did not say, "Look what you did to me, and now I'm forgiving you. I'm being so kind to you." He did not say any of those things. He said it was because of Shaitan. So he let it go. And then he made dua for a good ending for himself. He said, "Oh, my Lord, you have given me sovereignty and taught me of interpretation of dreams, creator of the heavens and the earth. You are my protector in this world and in the hereafter. Cause me to die as a Muslim and join me with the righteous." This is the dua of Yusuf alayhi salam. So he made dua for a good ending. Some people say this is the dua that he made the time that he was dying. And some people say that he was just making dua for a good ending, that anything in this world, all the troubles that he went through when he was being bullied, when he was in the well, when he was being sold as a slave, when he was in the house of Aziz, when he was being harassed, all of these things, when he was in prison, and nothing lasted forever. Everything was temporary. So even the happiness in this dunya is also temporary, and what is everlasting, he's making dua for that. And as I said, the name of Allah, Al-Latif, and the lesson in qadar of Allah that we can get from the story of Yusuf alayhi salam, that if any of these situations, like everything, you can see that the situation was getting from bad to worse, from bullying to the well, to the slavery, to the harassment, to the prison. Everything is just getting back to worse, right? But if any of these things could be changed even slightly, this ending would not have happened. Okay, if he continued to live in with his family, he would be starving in whatever land, Palestine, Lebanon, wherever they were living. He would still be starving with his family. If he was not taken from the well, or if he was taken from the well and some good people adopted him, he would not become this leader of Egypt, right? Everything happens for a reason. If he was not harassed, if those Aziz and his wife were kind to him, if they were good people, this would not have happened, right? So everything happens for a reason. Now, this brings us to the end of the story. We also have one other thing. Yaqub alayhi salam's death is mentioned in the Quran when he was dying, when he was on his deathbed. He gave instructions to his sons. This is not mentioned in Surah Yusuf. It is mentioned in Surah Al-Baqarah. That he said to his sons, and he was it seems that he was surrounded by his sons, and he gave some very specific instructions to his son. Do you know what? He told his sons not about any inheritance that he's leaving behind. He did not say anything else except don't die except as Muslims. Be upon Islam until the end of your life. That is the instructions that Yaqub al-Islam gave to his son when he was dying. Now, as we started the story with the fact that how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala calls it the best story. How is this different from any other story from the Quran? Hmm. Okay, very good. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Uh-huh. There are lots of lessons in this also. Also, this story is all of this whole story is mentioned all together. So the beginning and the middle, the climax, and then the ending, all of it is in one place together. So that is also a very simple reason why this is called the best story. And it had a lot of lessons for Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam also in that point of his life, and for everybody, all of us can relate something or the other. We can relate to this story at some point. We can look at Surah Yusuf and relate to something or the other from this. Also, uh, I will share something in the group later on, maybe tomorrow. This story is very symmetrical. Okay, so the middle of the story, what is where the king has a dream and the dream is interpreted. Let me just tell you from here. So the king has a dream and the dream is interpreted. Yusuf alayhi salam goes to jail, and on the other side, you will see Yusuf alayhi salam gets released from jail, and the ladies try to convince Yusuf alayhi salam, and then the ladies confess that Yusuf alayhi salam is innocent. The wife of Aziz tries to seduce him, and the wife of Aziz confesses. And the brothers of Yusuf are against Yusuf alayhi salam, and the brothers learn their lesson. And Yusuf alayhi salam has a dream, and Yusuf alayhi salam's dream comes true. So, this whole story is very, yeah, really, if you the true meaning of full circle. Yeah. Okay, so I have some fun questions about this as well, this story. How many shirts are mentioned? Really? Three shirts are mentioned. How many uh, how many dreams are mentioned? Yeah, four dreams are mentioned. Hmm? Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah, that is the same dream. Okay. Um, what do you think? All of you, I want to ask all of you, according to you, which one is the most difficult test? All of the tests that you went through. The brothers? Uh, harassment? Hmm. Anyone else? Forgiving his brother. Oh, that's an interesting one. I never thought about that. Yeah. With the look. Yeah. Mhm. Don't do that, okay? Don't. Yeah. Mm. Yeah. Yeah. And all our answers are correct because all of it is what we are relating to the most. And I also feel that it is the harassment because I don't think that when something like this happens, it's a one-off thing. I think this would be an ongoing thing. This is something that he must be facing day in and day out as he was growing up. And she could not have done this like just like that. Mm. Mm. Yeah, and this seemed like she looked for the perfect moment, and she was planning. It was mm, and then he was also feeling like attracted to her also, so he'd fight his own nafs. Yeah, yeah, that's good. All right, Jazakallah khairan. I don't know who is attending. All right. السلام عليكم سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك